The Toronto Raptors blow out the Brooklyn Nets many hours ago, like 12 hours ago. But of course, this is not a typical post-game live for Pensar Basketball. Obviously, we do post-game lives after the game. And now we're doing a post-game live the morning after because despite my best efforts to watch the game, review the game, and all that stuff, we had a party last night. And people were buying me shots. And as much as I think that I can handle that many shots, I could not. So yeah, I came home and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep, but I'm gonna make up, by doing a live because this was a friggin' awesome game. It was incredible to see so many of the important pieces for the Toronto Raptors click at the right time. Let's talk about Scottie Barnes. I just think his energy was infectious. It started at the very, very first. This is vintage Scotty. It's weird to say someone who's 22 has a vintage version, but yeah, I mean the finger guns, we got that. We got the flexing on Dennis Schroeder. Love that. Great. Mikal Bridges is known for that gesture. I don't got a problem with it. I love it. Take it to him. That's great, man. Like, don't be punked. Hit a three and just finger gun him in the face. That's great. Love it. I think Jakob Poeltl was really good. I think he anchored the defense. I think he was a part of some really, really good moments for the Toronto Raptors, which is great. Let's look at who did what in this game. I hope you guys had a great game. This was awesome. Rob, go sleep. You look dead tired. Thanks for the compliment, bro. Lance saying game was too good. Rob was too excited to not make a live about it, bro. Like, I mean, Rob, we need you to get on board with RJ. It's not that I'm not on board with RJ. I'm just realistic. What is going on with this light? The light is going crazy. Let me try to move myself away. Can I move away? What is going on? This camera is so weird. Is that better? Nope. Is that better? Nope. I'm just going to be covered in a light. Hey, Rob, did you finally enjoy watching Dennis Schroeder play for the opposing team? Yes. Yes, I did. I'm just really happy seeing him out there. I was just like, oh my God, he's not wearing a Raptor jersey. That's amazing. The Raptors blow out. I mean, it was close in the third, and then it just got away. And I looked. I was at the theater last night. Obviously, Pendance is happening right now. And I looked, and it was like a 20-point blowout. And Vince, music guy, he was there. A lot of Pensar basketball community showed up last night. I appreciate y'all to watch a Turkish art house film on a Thursday night. Like, you didn't even come for money. You came for the Turkish art house film on a Raptor game. Yo, salute to this community. Thank you so much. We'll definitely talk about a little bit about last night, but yeah, the Raptors out hustled, out muscled, and just generally out rebounded the shit out of the Nets. And look, like, it's important. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with the next 20 games. Like, at this point, it's just about math. You have a team ahead of you in the Brooklyn Nets that you've almost caught up to. You're like, I don't want to say dead even. You're a game and a half behind the Nets, right? You have another game tonight against the Atlanta Hawks, a team that's like 5 games ahead of you, 5.5. So it's getting to a point where you go on one bad week and the other team has one good week and you're done. Like, mathematically, you may not be eliminated, but in all likelihood, you're done. And I hope that the Raptors appreciate the moment that's upon them because, yeah, there's some element of you're going to have to, like, no one is winning 20 straight. None of these teams are good enough to win 20 straight. Okay. This is not like some sleeping giant that's massively underperforming. Like, the Atlanta Hawks are not like about to go win 20 straight. Right. But if you look at the teams ahead of the Raptors in the standings that I can't seem to find right now here. If you look at the teams ahead of the Raptors in the standings, there are a lot of teams that probably will struggle to get to 40 wins. I think the Bulls will struggle to get to 40 wins, but they've been 5-5 in their last 10. And it's like the Raptors are, weirdly enough, like, I think the Raptors are fully capable of overtaking the Hawks or the Bulls. I don't know about the Miami Heat, it would probably require some injury luck. But yeah, I mean, all 3-4 teams in this bunch, I mean, they can shuffle. They can move around places. So it could be just that simple. Like you have a good week, they have a bad week, or you have a bad week, they have a good week, and it's just over. So yeah. In terms of the Nets, Mikal Bridges and Cam Thomas, kind of the guys that the only two guys to crack double digits, just crazy. Ben Simmons, 21 points, wow, like a triple single, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. How's your max contract doing for you, right? Gary Trent was friggin' awesome for the Raptors, man. Like really awesome. And I liked some of RJ's playmaking in transition. It was great. I think the Raptors transition offense in the second half was great. DJ Carton, gets his first NBA bucket, which was really cool to see. Grady Dick with another really positive game. Like I liked his game overall, his court awareness, his compete level defensively. It was good. Ochai Agbaji has his first positive game as a Raptor, in my opinion. 14 minutes, I think he was positive. Bruce Brown, not so positive. Chris Boucher still in the doghouse for whatever reason, and I think Kelly Olynyk was decent. I think he was good, but yeah, it was really the IQ Scottie, Gary Trent show in terms of the offense for the Raptors, and it worked in different ways, right? With Gary, it was just timely shot making. With Immanuel Quickley, like it was a lot of like. Yeah, he kept them in it, right? In the first half, there was like some good moments for him. And I think RJ and Scottie, to just getting in the middle and just putting pressure on the rim constantly, sucking in. Like, how many times last night was Scottie like covered by 2-3 guys? That's what you want. That's what you want your star to do. You want your all-star, 22-year-old all-star to draw 2 or 3. But once in a while, and this is something that Scottie has to work on, when you draw 2 or 3, you still got to score, right? You got to be able to score on 2 guys. You can't just always pass. So I think like the Raptors generated good shots last night. I mean, they shot 45% from 3. A lot of that was Immanuel Quickley and Gary Trent Jr. blitzing hot, 5 for 7 and 5 for 8. But yeah, like, I mean, overall the team was good. Like their shot making was good. RJ Barrett shoots 50% from 3. He's been good there. Like, and again, like even with Bruce Brown going 0 for 3, Kelly Olynyk going 0 for 1. And again, Kelly has not shot the ball incredibly well as a Raptor so far, but like his track record as a shooter is solid. It's great. Like he's a good player. Yeah. I mean, enough about like in terms of this game, in terms of what it means. Yeah, it doesn't redefine the season for me. It's just a welcome moment, to see this team click, to see this team, play connected and together, to see this team play with confidence and attitude. Is that a little bit of GSP in there? George St. Pierre, like, talking to the Raptors. I thought that was a really interesting. Also, I would be remiss if I not say happy birthday, Darko Rajakovic. Post like a little bit of a delayed happy birthday to our coach, who turned 100 years old yesterday, coaching this team. But yeah, it's good, man. Look, I obviously, like my last live, the tone of the last live was basically that the Raptors missed a golden opportunity, and I'll stand by that till I die, like for sure. Like you did not get enough back for what you gave out in OG and Pascal and whatever. And even if I think that, yeah, like in the long term, when you look at Immanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett, and you look at OG Anunoby or whatever turns that Pistons pick turns into, I will commit to like standing by this unless something crazy happens, that the Raptors won that trade. I still think the Raptors won that trade. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't have won it by more had you made the move earlier. That's just my point. Didn't like RJ and Scottie fight each other for that rebound. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I don't remember seeing that, so maybe I need to rewatch the game. But how much time do I have to rewatch games? Like this is the first game I think I'm not gonna watch twice. But watching it once was cool. let's see. I don't think Scottie's a stat patter though, right? So like he doesn't like. I don't think he cares too much. I think at this point. Oh, thank you, John Wheaton. 4.5 ahead. I thought they were 5.5 ahead. But they are 4.5 games ahead. Are they? Let me check. So the Hawks are, yes, they are 4.5 games ahead. Correct. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can close that gap tonight to 3.5. That would be great. And I hope. How close are we to play-in? You were very close, actually. You can see it right there. I mean, the tankathon, I have a feeling it's just dead at this point, right? Like, you're not out tanking Memphis right now. But Memphis is on a 2-game win streak, so go figure. And I mean, like right there at 8 is the team you beat last night, the Brooklyn Nets. You lose to the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, they fired their coach. And I think this just goes to say, like, they're just such a dumpster organization. And I remember talking about this extensively. Like, it starts with the ownership for sure. I think their ownership group is pretty trash. And, I say that with some confidence, that some of the stuff that they've gone through with Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant, I don't know. I sense that organization is trouble. And so there was a part of me that was just like, there you go. Stability, organizational stability, draft picks, etc. Like, you won't be able to keep these young players. Like, you can develop a Nick Claxton or a Cam Thomas or Cam Johnson or whatever. But at some point, and again, I always harken back to that decision to sit out your starters against Milwaukee. And like, look at the Nets record since that moment. It's like they've been in a nosedive. You have Spencer Dinwiddie who wanted out. And you can say Spencer Dinwiddie's a character, Dennis Schroeder's a character, whatever, but it's like attracts like. You're not a good organization. You're going to attract a lot of not good people to your organization. And the Raptors, on the other hand, are the counter to the Nets, in my opinion. Not that I think too much of Bell and Rodgers, but, you have solid people like Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster, and they're rebuilding this culture, Like, why do you think Darko Rakovic wants this job? Like, yeah, you could say it's a head coaching job in the NBA. He would jump at it regardless. But why do you think it attracted? Do you know what I mean? Like, huh? I love Scottie's confidence. Might have been early in the game. Got to have at least 3 threes made before that. You mean the finger guns? No, I'm good. I'm good. I think I haven't been on Twitter, and it's probably for my health. I haven't been on Twitter. But if there's any reaction or vitriol towards Scottie for finger gunning Mikal Bridges, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Yak been possessed really, especially on defense. I agree with that. Look, I'm very on record right now saying like I don't think Jakob Poeltl like is a top 15 center, and I think there was a live where I literally went through every single team and said, would he start on that team, that team, that team, that team? We had like 4 or 5 teams I think that he would start on. So clearly not a top 15 center in the NBA. But that being said, like he can be better for sure, and his rim defense and just working within the scheme of the Raptors and his, secondary playmaking. These are things that can be very, very invaluable. Okay, not invaluable, not $20 million 4 years invaluable, but serviceable center for 27 to 30 minutes a night valuable. Like Jakob Poeltl can be part of a winning team. If you told me Jakob Poeltl was a starting center on a championship team, I would tell you the other 4 players must have been really great. That's kind of where I'm at with Jakob Poeltl. But yeah, you're not relying on him to be your best player, thankfully, right? So yeah, so DJ Carton, like I don't have any strong opinions one way or the other about him. Like I researched him very, very minimally. Personally, I would have liked to see them. Yeah, like I mean, look, these 10 days are invaluable. Like you want to take these flyers on these young guys. You want to see, obviously his G League numbers are impressive. He did get better every single year. He's a guy who's showing that he wants to be a pro, and the Raptors like to take bets on people who are showing a track record of hard work. You know, I think it's fair. I think it's a good idea. So yeah, in terms of the team stats, hang on. Like again, the Raptors like shot lights out largely because of IQ and Gary going off. But yeah, like in terms of the team stats, like it's across the board. Like this is the way you want the Raptors to play. They get really close to that 25 assist mark, maybe not quite all the way there. 10 steals, 6 blocks. So like 16 stocks. That's crazy. They force 20 turnovers. They get 46 fast break points, dude. Like, this is crazy. What is this? The Phoenix Suns offense? Like, that's crazy. And, their largest lead was 34. Like, so this is really like, I don't think this video is clickbait. This is like a curb stomping of epic proportions. And they got to the line more. And they shot way better from three. Like, despite taking fewer threes, they shot way better from three, and they made more threes. They got to the line better. They made more free throws. They shot better from the line, better from the field, better from three. Like, this is a mollywhopping. It's a curb stomping / mollywhopping. And my lighting, what is going on here, man? This is why I don't do lives in the day in this room. Man. Okay. Who can we add in the offseason to put us over the top? I don't know. In his prime, Michael Jordan. That would be great. LeBron and Bronny. Oh boy. Just imagine Scottie and LeBron both walking off the court with 3 seconds left. Paul, are you in heaven? No. So 14 years ago, we made a real estate decision to buy a place and decided it would be really nice to be met with the sun every morning. So naturally we chose that, but that means the entire apartment gets like massive sunlight. What's also interesting is to people on Twitter who think dude lives in his mom's basement. There you go. It's not a basement. It's an apartment. So moving on up in the world from mom's basement, despite mother having been passed away for 15 years now, mom's basement to, sunny apartment. Oh, what? East facing apartment? Do you think the Nets are on a downward spiral going onward? Yeah, of course. You have Ben Simmons in your locker room. You have a coach in Jacques Vaughn who, you fired Steve Nash and Jacques Vaughn showed some promise. Then you fired Jacques Vaughn. Now you got another interim. Maybe you'll hire him. Maybe you'll hire somebody else. But it's at this point, like coaches talk, man. It's like a freaking fraternity. Players talk. There aren't that many people in the NBA. There aren't like I say this like to say that it's a really closed group. When people say insiders, I think that word is misused. Like there are trade secrets in the NBA. There are things, scandals that come, that are talked about only in certain circles, right? I've never touched those circles, to be completely honest. But like in the moments where I have even talked to someone who's in those circles, you can tell like, oh man, they have total intel on which general manager is secretly like the worst person ever to deal with. And again, these things don't always get out. Sometimes they're obvious, sometimes they're not so obvious. And I just think that the word is out on the Nets. Don't go to that organization. It's not a great place to be. And when the Raptors traded Dennis Schroeder there, like my first thought was they didn't think too much of Dennis Schroeder. Like I don't buy this bullshit from Bobby Webster where he's just like, yeah, well, Dennis was here to win and now he's not here to win and we're not winning anymore. Yo, like they got Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk. Do either of those guys look like they're here to lose? Like, fuck that noise. That's not true. That's just not true. Dennis Schroeder was traded he was banished to the Nets, in my opinion, because they, felt that he was not a part of the culture that they wanted to build here, right? And I don't really know what was done or what was said, but I can tell you the writing was on the wall the second he started talking about being a leader. And look, it's like, you can talk about being a leader all you want. It does come down to the people who you're leading to determine the effectiveness of you being a leader. You know, Pistons might be in a better spot than Nets. I don't think the Pistons are in a better spot than Nets. As much as I bat on the upside with Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey, I think the I think the Nets are probably closer because you can, like, they have the pieces, they have the picks, they're further along. They're not building around. They don't have a first option though, right? Like you could say Cam Thomas or Mikal Bridges could become like a masquerading, do it by committee type of first option, and that, like, I just like some of their pieces, Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson, some of their young pieces, like off the bench. Like, I think they have like talent. I like Daron Sharp. So Derek Whitehead. Like, those are two Montverde guys. I don't know if they're just Sean Marks is just hanging around Florida, scouting Montverde, but like they have a couple of Montverde guys, and I like both of those guys. Like, I think with Derek, like, there's a injury history, and that's kind of scary stuff. But if he pans out, like, the best version of Derek Whitehead is a pretty damn good player. So I'm just saying, like, they have a lot of upside and potential, but they do have this albatross of a contract who just scored 2 points last night in Ben Simmons. And look, I've always defended Ben Simmons. I've always felt weird, like, because again, it comes down to an anchoring bias. I I've known a couple people that were around him, like 4 or 5 years ago. They spoke so glowingly of him. So there's always that element of like, is this guy being miscast as like a bad dude? Is he, being miscast as someone who's like, milking injuries? Like, there's a narrative about him that he just doesn't like basketball, that he doesn't want to play basketball. And this narrative has been around for a while. But I think it's just sometimes he's just very unlikable. And as someone who's also pretty unlikable, I empathize. But yeah, at some point you do have to realize that in no world is Ben Simmons worth $20 million, much less $40 million. And they got multiple years left on that deal. So yeah, it's gonna suck, And then you, you complicate that situation by kind of tanking. I don't. This guy pops a stream. Goron music. Oh, cool, man. Adrian Griffin's going to coach the Nets. I'm calling it. Really? That might be interesting. Maybe they need a Mark Jackson or something like that, man. Like, I feel like they might go that direction. Anyways, yeah, like, in terms of tonight, going up against the Hawks, it's not going to be easy. Of course, Scottie Barnes and Trae Young, after the skills competition, they will have a reunion. I just like the energy that Scottie's playing with. Like, last night, I hope he continues it, right? I wasn't expecting it with how busy you are. Yeah, busy as hell. But, like, this community is a really big part of why things are going so well. Like, the Scottie Barnes video. I'll actually show you a little clip from last night in terms of our party. It's kind of cool. That Scottie Barnes and RJ video, like the beefy history, I've never actually admitted this, but like, yes, that title was deliberately laid out that way to piss people off. But it worked. I workshopped that title with my boy Godiology. We were talking about it, and we are just like going back and forth. I was like, what's the verbiage for this? Like, how do I, make this video pop? Yo, that video got 200,000 views, and that video, FYI, has a 1 minute pen dance plug in it. I'm thrilled. I'm excited. I'm so. Oh, I got a phone call. I can't take this phone call. I totally can't take this phone call, but I need to take this phone call. Damn it. Okay, not gonna take that phone call. Check this out. honestly, it was as good as it could have been. Hang on, let me show you. Okay, this is sideways. This is the theater. We're running a trailer for money. And oh no. It's not gonna play. Ah, fuck. Damn it. Okay, I have an idea. Let me figure out how to get on Instagram here. It was cool, man. Like it was just really cool. And it was really cool to meet a lot of Pensari basketball people. You guys are tall, man. You guys are really tall. Like, first of all, like I felt so short yesterday. Like I'm I don't think I'm short. Like I'm 5'10" and a half, 5'11". Maybe I'm shrinking a little bit with age. But like, yo, like there were people like 6'6" coming up to me being like, such a big fan. And I'm just like, you fucking basketball players? Like, the giants. People are giants, bro. But I'm used to it. I come from a very tall country. Everyone is like super tall. Like I'm the shortest person. Um, like some of my friends growing up, like they were just super freaking tall. So that's kind of the nature of being the guard, the point guard, right? Is like you're always the shortest person on the basketball court. And you would think with all of that that I would have a great deal of empathy for Fred VanVleet, but I didn't. I literally did not. Okay, hang on. Let me pull this up. Okay. Give me 1 second and I'll be able to show you. Okay. So here we go. Okay. There we go. What? I gotta log in for. Please God, don't shut my password. Okay, good. Okay. So, yo, like this community, like what they like, we didn't have much of an ad budget, right? The number of people that saw, like, yo, we sold out 3 shows already. Like, this is going so well. This is awesome. Like, I'm so thrilled. And like Toronto Wildlife Center, sharing our stuff. You know, the Carlton being super fucking accommodating, putting up our posters. You know, the Pendance party on the on the rooftop on College Saturday night. Y'all should definitely come check that out. Pratfall update: only 6 tickets left for Pratfall, which is fucking awesome. This page, Cinema One More, they are like our hero supporters, man. Like this page is followed by like look at this page. Like they're huge. I can't click on it. They're like they got like 1 million followers basically, and they were sharing our stuff. Death Grip is playing tonight, bro. This film is goddamn like, yeah. So there's the thing. You know, just like a ton of people like that came out last night, and this was the filmmaker drinks. And this was the smallest event that we're gonna have at Pendance in terms of like the night stuff. And it was so cool, you know, like it was incredible. And then you're seeing like all of these people coming to Toronto like for the first time in their lives, you know, and I'm just like, yo, government of Toronto, government of Ontario, you need to give us some fucking money. We're bringing people in from all over the world to come, you know. And so yeah, it's really cool. I'm really excited. Okay, we'll pull this off. Thank you. Yeah, man, it's been incredible, and I'm so humbled because I watched the Nets pod last night and they were not happy. Did I watch the post game presser? I did not. No, and I'm not going to pull it up because I'm assuming that everyone has already watched it at this point. I will say this though. 2 things. Two quick things. I understand that, like, so a couple of Pendance, I mentioned that a couple of Pensar basketball people came out last night. I think Last Night was the most inaccessible film in Pendance history. It's an art house film, which is super silent, and I was very worried about programming it. I almost like after the film was done, I almost apologized for us programming this. It's not because it's a bad film; it's a great film. It's just not for everybody. And I realized that if you're a basketball fan who doesn't do art house films, and suddenly you come to see this Turkish art house film, you could be like, "Whoa, is all of it like this?" It's not. Tonight at 10 o'clock, so after the Hawks game, there's a promo code down there. It's called Pendance Midnight. Yo, these films are so good. And they're so entertaining. And there's action and horror. It's up your alley. And Money tomorrow, Saturday at 3:30 is also up your alley. It's super cool. So if you're someone who's just like, I don't do festivals because I don't want to, sit and watch a flower pot blossom, these films are not like that. Pendance Midnight is horror, sci-fi, and like super cool shit. 10 p.m. tonight. There's a lot of tickets available for that because I think it's like a little bit late, 10 o'clock. Maybe we haven't marketed enough. Free tickets, link down below. Pensar Basketball 100 for Pendance Midnight, and also for Money, where there are like 25 tickets left for Money. So grab them. We've broken even. It's a fantastic thing. When I got up in front of the audience last night, it was hard not to get sentimental about this. Like shit, like nothing should be taken for granted at this point. We're a live event that shut down for 2 years. Like we had to go virtual. Like just seeing people in seats in the theater was so humbling. And I realized just how much I've changed, from the person that I was 5-6 years ago, running around Pendance, freaking out at everything, trying to, basically like not wanting to say hi to anybody, to yesterday being so able to just sit. And like there's the most annoying thing that people do when you're talking to them and they start looking over your shoulder. How do you feel when people do that? It's a terrible thing to do. But honestly, like people almost understand. They're just like, he's so busy. Yo, yesterday I was talking to one of our volunteers for like 10 minutes, right? It was in between the screenings. So I was just talking to him about like film or something, or my trip to Egypt, right? And he's from Egypt. And 10 minutes in, he's just like, so how did you hear about the festival? And I was like, I don't understand the question, And he was just like, well, how did you hear about the volunteer position at the festival? And I was just like, I run it. Like I'm the guy who runs it. But I love the fact, that he felt in that moment that I was just a volunteer at the festival. Like it was cool because I didn't feel like I was the guy in charge of everything. I didn't feel like a boss. I just felt like a person. And I love that because I tell you, if you come to Pendance 2017, 2019, 2020, yeah, I'm the director because I'm like, it's written on my face and everything is like, I'm stressed out about everything. So yeah, man, it was great. It was great, man. Like I expected very few people to show up for Thursday. Like I really did. I was just like, this is gonna be our soft launch. If we get 30 people in, it'll be great because it's a really inaccessible film for a lot of people. It is about sexual repression. Yesterday's film was about sexual repression, religious suppression, and it was told in through silence. It was told through like okay, so if you and I have a conversation, I'll be like, yo, Kyle, what's up? And be like, Rob, what's going on? Now imagine if we had the same conversation, but it was like, Kyle, Rob. You know what I mean? Like that much pause, that much silence. Like what the fuck? People lose their minds, and you could see it. Like I was sitting in the back of the theater. I could see it. Like people were like literally fidgeting. They're like, what is happening to me? And because we don't give any room for silence in our lives, I don't. I go to sleep listening to podcasts. I wake up and I listen to music. Where is the silence? We go on a jog, we listen to a podcast. You might listen to me, and I'm not trying to dissuade you from listening to me, but what I'm saying is give a moment for silence in your life. Do you know what I mean? Like we need to give those moments because One of our big time supporters, Veronica, who runs Purple Rain Nutrition. I don't know if she still runs Purple Rain Nutrition, but she's incredible. And she has this huge following of like just incredible people in Toronto. And like, I'm reminded of just how many incredible people follow Pendance, and support Pendance. And Rob Light is normal, exhausted, and hangover got you. I'm not that exhausted actually. I'm energized. The light, what the fuck? I need to get blackout blinds, bro. I love my silent time. Exactly. So what Veronica said when she came out was, she's like, I love that thing you said in the theater about silence, because while I was watching this film, I was thinking about my childhood. Do you know what I mean? Like, so many films that we watch, right? They're guiding every thought you have. It's audience testing. When you go to the movies, trust me, most Hollywood movies have been screen tested by hundreds of audience test groups. And if somebody didn't get something, they will not take a risk. They'll be like, oh my God, people won't get our film. So they have to explain it. So, like when you're watching a film and someone just over explains everything, it leaves no room for interpretation, right? So if someone's like, you were never good at anything, that's why you became a farmer. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not real life. Nobody goes around announcing their plot points. You know what I mean? Like, you ever walk up to a girl and be like, I got dumped by I got rejected by every single girl in this bar, so I'm trying my chance with you. Like, do you announce your intentions with everything? That's not real life. But they're so scared. And I mean, consider this. Maybe someone says something controversial. Yesterday's film, there's a lot of violence. A lot of violence. My God, there was a father beating the shit out of his daughter. Films like this will never be made by Hollywood because they would never risk it. There's so much controversy. There's so much activist groups. But these films are important. They're so fucking important because they show us a window into private lives that are not ours. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you watch, like, I don't know, Friends, or like something mainstream, you probably walk away feeling like their life looks nothing like my life. These people have no fucking jobs and they afford, they sit around in coffee shops all day. Like, there's no reality to it. You know what I mean? But like, the lives that we all lead on a day-to-day basis are messy. They're messy. But my life is messy. I fuck up every day. I have issues that go beyond that. I lose my temper. I lose my cool. I have moments with people, where I'm not proud of it. You know what I mean? Like, Like, it's you have moments where you panic and you're afraid of things, and you have moments where you cross lines that you shouldn't cross. And this is human. It's a human thing. And so I feel like our content does not reflect our reality. You know what I mean? Like, I'm scrolling through fucking TikTok, right? And I'm seeing like perfect people, perfect faces, perfect teeth. I don't have perfect teeth. I don't have perfect skin. I don't have perfect face. I'm not perfect. But like, the difference is, you scroll this shit, you watch this shit all day. Everyone's perfect. Everything's, well spoken, and then you go into the mirror and you're not perfect. Look at this fucking lighting. I'm a cinematographer. This is embarrassing, right? My point is, these films are important because they reflect reality in a way that people try to silence reality. And I think that the job of film festivals, most most crucially, is to make people think and make people talk. I think, like, I wasn't kidding or capping or trying to promote it when I said that Pensari basketball and Pendance are so related. They are so related. Everything that I've ever done in my life has always been to try to make people think. When we did Tesla Tutors, it was always to make people think. We, like, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I ran a tutoring company where my goal was to meet like kids who were struggling, right? Their parents would hire me. I would take like a day or two to get to know them. So, like, understand their strengths and weaknesses, understand, aptitude stuff, understand their interests, understand, what they watch, like what their favorite movies are, what sports they watch, and then try to tailor a curriculum specific to them. So if I found out that they were like really into golf or hockey or basketball, then I would tailor a lot of their curriculum towards that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, education is just a means of building your brain. It doesn't matter how you build your brain. Some people build their brain on cars, some people build their brain on film, everything. It's as long as your brain is working, like as long as you're creative problem solving. So that's the thing. It's like, why do I have to give the example of apples and oranges when this kid would do much better with an example about basketball or Mario Lemieux, right? So that was the goal of Tesla Tutors. And that's the goal of Pensari Films and Pendance and Pensari Basketball. All of it is just to make people think. My goal with this channel has always been to make people think. Maybe I haven't done the greatest job ever about it, but yeah. Kurosawa doing Fyodor Dostoevsky. So interestingly enough, the greatest compliment that I ever received in my life, ever, was someone read my script and said it was very Dostoevsky-esque. I was like, yes, I would die and go to heaven right now. Yeah, he meant it, I think, as an insult, but I took it as a compliment because that's up to us. Anyway, luckily today's another soft day. We start at 6:30 with Pratfall. It's another game that I will miss, but it's the last Raptor game of the year that I'm going to miss live. It's going to be a much busier day. There's going to be media there. It's going to be cool. But I'm happy. Did we get a chance to see these films outside of Pendance? Yeah, man. Okay, so like sometimes these films will, go online or whatever. If you are someone who's a little bit curious, hang on one second. I'll show you. I'm going to get copyright flagged for this, but I don't care at this point. So I'm on Pendance Film Festival. So this is Pendance Library. I built this. So this is past selections from Pendance that you can see, right? So yeah, all of these films are really incredible films that are available online. This is one of my favorite shorts, literally of all time. It's incredible. So we showcased this short in 2019. 2019. It's a horror film. It's awesome. We showcased that short in 2019. It became a feature that went to Sundance in 2021. This film, There's Nothing You Can Do, this won our best Canadian short in 2022. The director's from Montreal. He's super cool. This is a feature. This won our best feature of 2019. It's starring the guy from Ready Player One. It's awesome. This is a great film. The Woodkin, incredible. Yeah, again, like there's just really good films. Emma was our first ever winner, best short. Jitters is incredible. It's such a good film. So yeah, all these films are free to watch. You could definitely check them out if you're curious about like, hey, what's Pendance about? Yeah, you can watch some of these films. Some of them go to theaters. Some of them go to Vimeo. Some of them go to Amazon. Some of them go to Netflix. Some of them go whatever. Straight Up was on Netflix. We showcased that in Canada first. We were the Canadian premiere of Straight Up, and then it went to Netflix. So yeah, these are all films. This film won an Oscar. Yeah, so I mean, this film was at the festival last year. Monkey Love Please Hold. It's hilarious. It's about a guy who develops a relationship with. I'm not going to ruin it, but yeah, it's a good film. This has to be like one of my man. We have a lot of films here. Yeah, so I mean, like it's pretty cool. And then we also got like features. Like I think some of these films, for sure. Um, yeah. So, anyways, My point is, it's a cool festival, and you should definitely come check it out tonight at 10 o'clock. And I'm making it super easy for you guys this year. I mean, honestly, like, look, we didn't have a huge ad budget this year, and I realized that. And the fact that easily over 1 million people have heard about this festival is super cool. I mean, it kind of is a streaming platform. It's just a video. I mean, sorry, it's just a website, but it is kind of like a streaming platform. You can go through and check films and they pop up. It works just like a streaming platform. It's just, except it's a website. The difference is we're hosting links that are available elsewhere. It's just a library. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's called the Pendance Library and not Amazon Prime. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, today it continues, and then tomorrow's like a super busy day. Tomorrow is like finance workshop, sold out, Through Her Eyes, LMFAO short block, which is so fucking funny. I'm just like, yo, people are gonna laugh so hard in that, and it's totally full, and I love it. One of my favorite features of the year is on Sunday. It's called The Accident. It's an Italian film about a woman who gets a tow truck, who buys a tow truck, and basically it's very Taxi Driver meets Nightcrawler meets like Bicycle Thief. That's the best way I can describe it. That film is so fucking good, and it's coming Sunday night at 7. So look, there's a lot of good stuff. I'm really proud of the work that we've done. Our team has done. We're a small team. We don't have a ton of money. We obviously don't have tips budget, but yo, like this year is like such a climb back to where we were in 2020 before the pandemic and before the shutdown and stuff. And all this year is motivating me to do is just to push harder. So this entire year coming up is it's all going to be, you know, Pendance and Pensar basketball. I'm going to push both of these things into the stratosphere. Like, I got to do it. I got to, like, every day I look at my fridge, it's like 20,000 subscribers for Pensar basketball. Got to do that, you know? And yeah, I mean, Pendance, like the post engagement has been so shit. I don't know why. Instagram, YouTube, everything. It's like we post a trailer, 2 people see it. I'm like, what? But thankfully, there's so many people who support Pendance that, you know, through Pensar basketball, through Cinema Mon Amour, through, you know, Vero, through Toronto Wildlife Center, we're just able to get the word out. And these are partners, and these are supporters, and I'm so thankful. Okay. The final 2.5 minutes of this is just going to be trailers. So definitely come check out Pendance. See ya, guys.
Necesita una familia, necesita una madre, necesita una puta oportunidad en la vida, ¿lo entiendes?
Ese chico nunca será tu hijo.
¡Que me da igual!
The hook is that they're bred to run and they're bred to lose.
This is gonna fucking make us. This is the thing.
Enough. And we're gonna get a kitty too!
Yeah, another wonderful day in New York, huh? Beautiful day. Goddamn right it is.
Ripeti con me, non fa male.
Non fa male.
Cube had a good beginning. So too did Red Mule. Red Mule to the front. Amistad is there on the outside. Then it's Hallstatt, followed by Deft along the rail. Bridge to the Future is next, and then Lone Pioneer, with 6 lengths off the lead, clear 2.5 from Power Boss. Lid's Boy to the inside, and Don Chicho is last. Up the backstretch, Red Mule the leader, 3/4 of a length ahead of Deft running in second as the field moves for the far turn. And then it's Cube in third, 22.97 that first quarter mile. Amistad is fourth on the outside. Behind that one is Power Boss. And then come Don Chicho and Lid's Boy. They're coming to the top of the stretch, 45, 3.5. For front running Red Mule. There by 2. No. And then toward the inside, it's Hallstatt.
This is gonna fucking make us. This is the thing.
They're all chasing Red Mule. Hallstatt, a long shot, makes a late.
Ow! No fucking excuse, Jose! Go on, Jose! Get up, Jose!
The hook is that they're bred to run and they're bred to lose. They were invented to lose.
This is the plight of man. First you gotta sink really low and get in slime. And from slime, that's how man was created.
I'm not gonna let death catch me with an empty stomach. All this bread in my pocket.
Just an FYI, this is what's coming tonight at 10 o'clock. This is awesome. It's so, like, it's my stupidity that I put 2 of the most mainstream, accessible, awesome blocks of films at 10 p.m. super late screening on Friday, and also 3:30 on a Saturday. But that's just me. You know, I did that. I'll tell you very quickly, these films are friggin' incredible. They come from all around the world. They come from Serbia. 530 is coming from Serbia. They're so incredible. Like, I'm just looking at this slate of films right there. I'm just like, oh my God, these films are really awesome. And The Broken Space is a world premiere. It's so great. So yeah, definitely come check it out after the Raptors game. It's not like, it's 10 o'clock. So if you live close to downtown, or even reasonably close to downtown, you can definitely make it out to this one. And yeah, help fill it up, you know. And I'm giving you free tickets with Pensar Basketball 100 as the code. So again, I think it's Pensar Basketball 100. That's the code. Whatever the code is written in the description, that is the description. Definitely come show up. And tomorrow night, come meet Vince, come meet Larry, come meet, you know, some of the Pensar basketball community at 10 o'clock at 20 College. It's called the Rooftop on College. It's going to be a pretty healthy turnout. If you've ever thought, hey, it'd be cool to party with a whole bunch of filmmakers and people who are very different than me, yeah, that's probably a good place to meet them. All right, take care, guys. Have a good one. See ya.